Chapter 1921, Old Master. Indeed, she was extraordinarily stupid back then and couldn't tell right from wrong. Jia, you just returned from outside. Quickly wash your hands. We'll be having dinner soon. As for your aunt, leave it to your uncle. If he doesn't have a way to chase after your aunt, I'll settle scores with him on behalf of you. Thankfully, it wasn't too late now. Although her grandpa was no longer around, her parents were still alive. Based on her temper, Zihua didn't dare imagine how she would really continue her stubborn ways with the Zai family if she didn't find out about Weida's and Wei Xiaomei's relationship and continued to be kept in the dark by the Wei family. Could it be that their family wouldn't experience such a scene like today even until her parents were gone? Just thinking about it, Zihua felt that such a future was too scary. She was still feeling regretful that when old Master Zai left, he was still worried that she wouldn't be leading a good life after marrying Weide. If her parents' regrets were added to this, she probably wouldn't be able to continue living in this lifetime. Jia stuck out her tongue. I'll wash my hands first. Uncle, go for it. Auntie Chiao's pretty good. You'll regret it if you miss her out. Her uncle could marry any woman, but she felt that her uncle needed a woman like Auntie Chiao by her side. Regardless of how she thought about it, it would just be awkward if there was another woman standing by her uncle's side. Uncle knows. He patted Jiajia's head. Compared to Zihua, his worrying sister, Zai Sheng found Jiajia to be more pleasing to the eye. At least, Jiajia wouldn't hinder him. Comparing the mother and daughter, the daughter was still more sensible. Zihua really hadn't grown up yet. Qiaonan didn't know that after she left the Zai family, Jiajia had already started addressing her as aunt. It was just that when a familiar stranger came knocking on her door, Qiaonan felt complicated in her heart. She was very unwilling to let the person before her enter her house or have any form of interaction with her. She didn't understand. Why was it that no matter where she went, there would always be those people who appeared in her dreams or were related to the Zai family? I'm sorry. I don't think I know you. Did you find the wrong place? Even though the Chuchenxi now looked older than the one in her dream, Qiaonan could still recognize her immediately. Once she saw her, Qiaonan wanted to slam the door shut. She had no choice. There was once in her dream that Chuchenxi came knocking on her door as well. At that time, Chuchenxi wasn't sure of her relationship with Zai Sheng but started to scold her that she was a vixen. Such a memory wasn't good at all. The scene now was about to overlap with the one in her dream. In this world, nobody would like it if someone suddenly came knocking on your door to scold you. Hello, I'm Chuchenxi. I know you don't know me, but I didn't find the wrong place. Zai Sheng and I. No matter what, I really want to thank you for this period of time. Jiajia suddenly ran out that day. That frightened my family. Thankfully, you were there. If I lost Jiajia, I wouldn't know how to account for it to my older sister. Chuchenxi wasn't fierce toward Qiaonan. Instead, she looked as if she was very grateful to her. Qiaonan knew that Chuchenxi was an only daughter and she didn't have an older sister in the family. As for Shi Qing, she was younger than Chuchenxi. As such, Qiaonan guessed that the older sister Chuchenxi was referring to was Zihua. Oh, you're here for Jiajia. She's not with me. I've already sent her back to the Zai family. Qiaonan didn't mention that she knew about Chuchenxi's existence in the Zai family. Seeing that Chuchenxi was vague about her identity, she didn't continue to probe what she meant. Since Chuchenxi didn't want to say it clearly, she didn't want to ask that clearly either. As for news pertaining to the Zai family, Qiaonan had said it very skillfully as well. She only provided Chuchenxi the information that she already knew. Qiaonan didn't mention anything about the things that Chuchenxi didn't know about. Anyway, from the pauses Chuchenxi made earlier, it was already clear that she had a close relationship with the Zai family. Since she was close with them, it should be Chuchenxi telling Qiaonan, the outsider, matters regarding the Zai family, instead of Jiaonan telling Chu Chenxai the insider. Chu Chenxai felt a little anxious. She started to suspect if Jiaonan wasn't good with words, or if she did so deliberately. It should be the former, right? Chu Chenxai wanted to find out more about the Zai family's situation so that she could think of a way to use Zai Hua's and Weida's divorce as a breakthrough point to let the Zai family feel her sincerity and heart to change. She wanted to return to that family and have a family that belonged to her and Zai Sheng. She could change or tolerate anything else. It was a pity that if Chu Chenxai didn't ask, Jiaonan would definitely not take the initiative to mention the Zai family's situation. This made Chu Chenxai seem very passive. If she took the initiative to ask about the Zai family's situation, it would seem inappropriate. The most important thing was that she didn't have the chance to tell Jiaonan yet that she was Zai Sheng's wife and she had the intention to reconcile with him now. Chu Chenxai tried her best to smile. I know you sent Jia back to the Zai family, and that's why I'm here today to thank you. Our family only has a child, Jia. She's the lifeline of everyone in our family. Even if Jia ran into a little accident, it would still be a big blow to our family. This is our small gratitude. I hope you don't reject it. Of course, Chu Chenxai couldn't come empty-handed to thank Jiaonan. She was carrying a bunch of things in her hands. Jiaonan was flattered. She had similarly come knocking on her door. However, instead of scolding her, Chu Chenxai even thanked her and brought so many gifts for her. This time, Jiaonan really felt the difference between reality and her dream. There's no need to. You're really too polite. Jia is a child of the Zai family. I had the opportunity to take care of Chief Zai for a while. The Zai family could be considered my old master. Jia is a good child. I should be doing this. Furthermore, the Zai family has already thanked me. I really don't need these. You can take them back. Although she was pleasantly surprised, Jiaonan didn't dare and didn't want to accept Chu Chenxai's things. After all, Jiaonan was someone who had seen the world. She could tell at a glance what the things Chu Chenxai brought over were. They were red and big boxes, making Chu Chenxai's hands full. In reality, these were just flashy items. The packaging was not bad. But there wasn't much content. Since there was nothing much, they naturally didn't cost a lot. Of course, these skills were taught by Miaojing after she married Zai Sheng in her dream. Chapter 1922, An Opportunity. Given the Zai family's identity and status, there were naturally a good number of people who wanted to send gifts to the Zai family every new year. Besides, Jiaonan still had Lin Yuankang as a master. Since there was no one else in the Lin family, Jiaonan alone was responsible for Lin Yuankang's contacts later in his life as his disciple. Jiaonan was the only one who decided on whose gifts Lin Yuankang could accept and whose he could not. After receiving these gifts, it was also Jiaonan's job to decide on how to return this favor. Jiaonan had handled both the contacts of the Lin family and the Zai family, and she had been rather sharp and critical. After finding out what Chu Chenxai had sent, Jiaonan understood Chu Chenxai's attitude. Chu Chenxai seemed intent to leave a good impression on her. That could only mean that Chu Chenxai had a favor to ask of her. But in Chu Chenxai's eyes, Jiaonan knew that she was no more than a passerby and could not render her much help. As such, Chu Chenxai actually looked down on her and did not pay much attention to her. Chu Chenxai was trying to get rid of her by giving her some useless and invaluable things. But she did not have to pay for it, after all, and she was on the receiving end. She could not possibly take issue with it and tell Chu Chenxai that she did not want such invaluable and cheap things, or ask Chu Chenxai to take it back for herself. Chu Chenxai would be embarrassed if Jiaonan did not cooperate with her. Besides, Chu Chenxai would never stop if she did not achieve her goal. That's different. That's from them. This is from me as Jia's aunt. Thank you so much. Here was the main point. Chu Chenxai thought of herself as Jia's aunt. Thinking about how Zai Sheng had indeed been treating her rather warmly these days, Xiao Nan felt sour. Aunt? I don't think I've heard that Chief Zai's married. I only heard that he was once married. Chu Chenxi's eyes brightened. This stupid caretaker might be useful to her. Immediately, Chu Chenxi's face changed into a sad and hurt expression. Although we shouldn't air our dirty linen in public, you saved Jiajia, after all, and have done a great favor to our family, so I guess it'll be okay to tell you just a little. We were young and ignorant at that time. We had feelings for each other, but we were obstinate and could not give in to each other. That was why we ended up getting a divorce. Thinking back about it, it wasn't a very big matter. As long as we each took a step back, we could have resolved that matter easily. I've been separated from him for over 10 years, but I've never found the one and he's been single ever since. Chu Chenxi's words made it easy for others to misunderstand that neither of them had gotten remarried after the divorce because they still harbored feelings for each other. Even though they had gotten into a misunderstanding and had gotten divorced, they had been unable to forget each other. Given the Chinese habit of persuading people to remain married instead of splitting up, the average reaction would be to convince Chu Chenxi to reconcile with Zai Sheng. Since they were both single, there was no need to wait any longer. But what Chu Chenxi had not expected was that Xiao Nan was not an average person. After hearing Chu Chenxi talk about how the couple had been obstinate and stubborn, and how they had only gotten a divorce because they had not been able to give in to each other, Xiao Nan's expression was complicated. Can such a matter really be solved by taking a step back and giving in to each other? The couple had gotten a divorce because of Chu Chenxi's affair. But what Chu Chenxi had said earlier meant that she was willing to remain loyal to Zai Sheng and never cheated on him again. Simply put, she expected Zai Sheng to tolerate her mistake and reconcile with her as though nothing had happened. Was it expected for one to give in to their partner regarding loyalty in marriage? Was loyalty not something that was expected in a marriage? Chu Chenxi hesitated for a moment. The woman in front of her was just a caretaker of the Zai family. There was no way she would know about the real reason for their divorce, right? Thinking about it that way, Chu Chenxi nodded. Isn't that so? It was just a small misunderstanding, but we refused to give in or compromise. My mom often advised me to resolve our differences as a couple. But we were young and stubborn, and neither of us was willing to back down. Thinking back now, if I had known that I would never get remarried even after getting divorced, I would never have bothered getting a divorce. With that, Chu Chenxi looked at Xiao Nan expectantly, hoping that Xiao Nan would encourage her to get back together with Zai Sheng. In the face of Chu Chenxi's expectant gaze, Xiao Nan felt ashamed. She felt sorry that she would never tell Chu Chenxi what she wanted to hear. But why had Chu Chenxi taken the effort to come all the way here just to say such weird things? Xiao Nan had not questioned Chu Chenxi about that. Otherwise, she was sure that Chu Chenxi would have answered her. There was a point in doing so, an important one, in fact. After being enlightened by her mother previously, Chu Chenxi had decided to win over the hearts of the Zai family so that they would accept her. It was just that the Zai family had refused to even interact with her. As such, she would never have the chance to show off her sincerity to the Zai family. As long as she remained in this limbo, becoming the chief's wife would remain as nothing more than a dream. At this time, Xiao Nan had appeared in front of Chu Chenxi, who then sensed an opportunity. Xiao Nan was indeed a caretaker who had only taken care of Zai Sheng for a few days and had no influence in the Zai family. But Chu Chenxi knew that Xiao Nan had been so good at taking care of Zai Sheng that she had been invited to spend the new year with the Zai family. Thankfully, Chu Chenxi had always thought of Xiao Nan as the Zai family's caretaker. Chu Chenxi had never thought that someone of such a low status like Xiao Nan could have celebrated the new year with the Zai family for any other reason. Chu Chenxi only felt that Xiao Nan must have left a good impression on the Zai family to be invited to celebrate the new year with them. Otherwise, they would never have accepted an outsider like her. When Jiajia had returned to the Zai family's old villa in Qingshui town, Chu Chenexai had seen her running out with a panicked expression. Chu Chenexai did not think that a teenager like Jia could go missing, but she did not want to miss this opportunity. It was quite funny thinking about it. Had Chu Chenexai not been staying in Qingshui town and had seen Zai Hua leaving the Zai family's house with Jia, Chu Chenexai would never have known about Jia or her relation to the Zai family. After confirming that Jia was Zai Hua's daughter and looking at how afraid she was, Chu Chenexai rushed out of the house, wanting to comfort Jia. Chapter 1923, Not a Big Difference. Jia was the Zai family's only child. She did not believe that the Zai family would remain so cold and indifferent toward her if she comforted Jia while she was crying and if she sent her back to the Zai family. What angered Chu Chenexai was that Jia had treated her too badly. She had wanted to get closer to Jia and hug her to comfort her out of the kindness of her heart, but Jia had been so afraid that she had run off in the opposite direction. Jiajia's reaction had made Chu Chenexai suspect whether Jia saw her as a bad person or even a human trafficker. Afterward, Chu Chenexai opened her mouth. Jia, don't cry. Don't run away either. I'm your aunt. Before Chu Chenexai could finish her sentence, Sister Zhao emerged. Her eyes widened. Why is this liar here again? What are you trying to say to our child? Are you a kidnapper? Do you believe that I'll call the police on you now and get them to throw you in jail? She was horrible. Did she not know whom she was dealing with? Was it not enough that she had tried to scam them once? Now, she even dared to kidnap their child. Was she trying to get revenge on them because they had not fallen into her trap the previous time? The moment Jia heard that this was not the first time this unfamiliar woman had come to scam them, Jia, who was already fearful, trembled even more violently. Auntie Zhao, I want to meet Auntie Qiao. Let's go find her. This woman had only lied to her and had yet to harm her physically. Apart from lying that she was her aunt, she had not had the chance to lure her away. Jia knew that there was no way for them to get the police to arrest Chu Chenexai. Upon finding out that Chu Chenexai was a bad person, Jia was even more frightened. All she wanted to do was to have an adult whom she trusted and could rely on by her side. Sister Zhao nodded. All right. I'll bring you to find Sister Qiao. Remember to hide from this woman if you see her again in the future. Do you understand? It was then that Chu Chenexai realized that Qiao Nan, who had only taken care of Zai Sheng for 2 days, had left a good impression on the Zai family. While Jia had been scared stiff, she had insisted on looking for Qiao Nan instead of the caretaker who was always in the Zai family's house. Initially, Chu Chenexai did not know whether to blame Jia for not knowing to differentiate between her relatives and outsiders, or whether to blame Qiao Nan's existence for missing out on such a rare opportunity to prove her worth as an aunt. It was just that Qiao Nan had sent Jia home in the end, and her image had improved even more in the Zai family's eyes. Even though Qiao Nan was only an ex-caretaker, as long as Qiao Nan was willing to speak well of her, or even bring her into the Zai family's house, the Zai family would let her in for Qiao Nan's sake, right? If she could get to that point and enter the Zai family's house, it would not be difficult not to leave. In short, Chu Chenexai regarded Qiao Nan as a stepping stone back into the Zai family. In the face of Chu Chenexai's wonderful performance, Qiao Nan thought that Chu Chenexai had not lived for nothing. At the very least, Chu Chenexai had grown much more compared to how she had behaved like a madwoman, calling her a shrew in her dream. I don't know your name yet, but it doesn't matter. I'm not sure what a small misunderstanding or a big problem is to you, or where the line should be drawn. Chapter 1924, Breakthrough. But I think that's between the two of you. It's better for you not to mention this to an outsider like me. Chu Chenexai, who had gone astray in her marriage, had managed to describe her affairs so eloquently. Qiao Nan thought that the reason Chu Chenexai had not remarried did not lie in Zai Sheng. It was because Chu Chenexai thought that there was no need for it. After getting married, Chu Chenexai would get into relationships with other men. How awful that sounded! As long as she remained unmarried, she could sleep with whomever she wanted. Of course, that would be her private business and outsiders could not control her. I'm sorry. It's just that I feel like we've met somewhere before. You're really kind, and it makes me feel like I'm meeting a long-lost best friend. That's why I subconsciously said so much. I hope you won't mind. Chu Chenxi had yet to reach her goal. There was no way she would let Xiaonan go just like that. She had indeed come to find a friend in Xiaonan today. If she did not befriend Xiaonan, how would she be able to take advantage of Xiaonan and enter the Zai family's house? There are some things that I haven't even told my family. I feel aggrieved and I've been holding it in. It's quite ridiculous how we got divorced over such a small misunderstanding. I calmed down very quickly and apologized. But Zai Sheng, you also know about their family's situation. His temper is quite strong, and he's a man who pays a lot of attention to his dignity. I admitted my mistake, but he refused to forgive me. At that time, I thought that Zai Sheng had had a change of heart and had found someone else because of his attitude. That was why I stubbornly left. But 10 years have gone by and he's still as single as I am. I realized that he feels the same way that I do. I still wonder why he was so resolute at that time. His decision caused both of us to suffer for so many years and be without a partner for so many years. Xiaonan's lips twitched. It seemed like Chu Chenxi now regretted it and wanted to reconcile with Zai Sheng. That was nothing. But Chu Chenxi was even telling her all about her own private matters in front of her house? Was Chu Chenxi crazy? Thinking about this, Xiaonan sighed and told Chu Chenxi in the friendliest tone she could muster. I'll forget all this very quickly. My memory isn't very good. Of course, if the situation is really as you described, I suggest you have a good chat with Chief Zai. Chu Chenxi's expression stiffened. Do you think that I don't want to have a chat with Zai Sheng? The Zai family is too overbearing. I guess they think that they're too brilliant because they've had 3 generations of chiefs. Given Zai Sheng's status and capabilities, he can marry any woman he pleases. Would they allow Zai Sheng to suffer by marrying an old woman like me? But they're not considering Zai Sheng's happiness at all. Do you think Zai Sheng would have waited until now if he wanted to marry any other woman? They would rather Zai Sheng remain single for the rest of his life than give me a chance to get together with Zai Sheng. Chu Chenxi rubbed her eyes. As she said so, Chu Chenxi could feel her emotions bubbling up. You're younger than me, so I'll just address you as my younger sister. Sister, you don't know how hard it's been on me. I'm my family's only daughter and I have my own pride and dignity too. If not because I think that we can't delay it anymore because of our age, I wouldn't have put down my pride and taken the initiative to approach the Zai family. But who would have known that the Zai family would take it so far and stop me right at the door? They even hid it from Zai Sheng that I visited. Sister, how could there be such an evil family in this world? Do they really think that their reputation is more important than their relatives' happiness? Xiaonan blinked helplessly. If she did not understand the Zai family's situation and know what kind of woman Chu Chenxi was, as well as the true reason why Chu Chenxi had divorced Zai Sheng, Xiaonan would never have been able to see through Chu Chenxi's brilliant acting. Is your surname Chu? Yes, I addressed you as my younger sister. You can address me as Sister Chu. She had only had a few encounters with this caretaker. She did not even regard Shi Qing as her sister, so how could she really think of this caretaker as a sister? Xiaonan's gaze was cold. You might think that this is a little late, or you might misunderstand me for wanting to watch a good show. I spent a short period of time in the Zai family's house, and through my interactions with them, I feel that the Zai family is rather down to earth. As for Chief Zai's divorce, the Zai family did mention it to me before I met you. I think that there's no need for the Zai family to lie to me about such a matter. It doesn't reflect well on them either. I don't know what you'll regard as a big problem if the reason for your divorce was only a small matter. No man will be able to accept such a thing. I'm not sure. I think you should talk to Chief Zai instead. Xiao Nan had not explicitly mentioned how Zai Sheng had gotten a divorce from Chu Chenexai due to her affair, but she had expressed that through her vague words. Chu Chenexai's lies could deceive anyone else, but there was no point in flaunting them off in front of Xiao Nan. She would never be deceived. Chu Chenexai's face was distorted due to her anger. The Zai family told you about it. They told her that she had found another man behind Zai Sheng's back and had even been caught red-handed in bed by Zai Sheng? Was the Zai family retarded? Why would they tell a caretaker such private matters? Was the Zai family not afraid of being embarrassed, or did they want the caretaker to stand on their side and fight against her with them? Did they know that dirty linen should not be aired in public? They were out of their minds. More importantly, even though Chu Chenexai addressed Chu Chenexai as her younger sister, she had never truly thought highly of Xiao Nan. Xiao Nan was nothing more than a stepping stone. She would simply throw her aside once she was done using her. Chu Chenexai felt utterly embarrassed that the greatest scandal in her life had been exposed to an outsider. The Zai family had gone overboard. Men made mistakes. So why were women not allowed to make mistakes? When men corrected their mistakes, they were praised for repenting. So, why was the Zai family unwilling to give her another chance now that she had decided to live an honest life and not make such a mistake ever again? Why had they even embarrassed her in front of a mere caretaker? All that talk of gender equality was garbage. Chu Chenexai took a deep breath. Xiao Nan was the breakthrough she had thought long and hard about. Chapter 1925, Reminiscing. In spite of such a setback, Chu Chenexai was unwilling to give up so easily. After getting remarried to Zai Sheng, she would simply find a way to kick this caretaker as far as possible. She had not crossed this river yet, and even then, Chu Chenexai was already thinking of how to get rid of this bridge. Sister, you're also a woman. The Zai family are prejudiced and don't understand me, but I believe that you'll understand me. I admit that I was insensible and did some foolish things when I was younger, but I know I'm wrong now. Even saints make mistakes. Why won't they give me a chance to make amends? It's true that I've changed for the better. Sister, will you help me? I really love Zai Sheng. I'm the only daughter, and my family background is quite good as well. Apart from Zai Sheng, I can always find other men to get married to, but they're not Zai Sheng. It was only after my divorce that I realized that I love only him. That's why I want to get back together with him. Sister, will you help me? They were already talking about her affairs, but Chu Chenexai was still reluctant to leave and was still addressing Xiao Nan as her sister. Xiao Nan frowned in frustration. Miss Chu, I'm really sorry. I won't be able to help you with that. I'm an outsider in the Zai family as well. What right do I have to speak up for you in front of the Zai family? You do. As long as you're willing to do it, you do. Without you, Jia could very well have gone missing. She might even have gotten kidnapped. Jia is the Zai family's only child. As long as you're willing to speak up for me, the Zai family will definitely give you some face. Otherwise, she would never spend so much effort talking to a caretaker. No matter how much she looked down on Xiao Nan, Chu Chenexai had put all her hopes in Xiao Nan. As such, there was no flattery that Chu Chenexai would not resort to. Besides, the way Chu Chenexai saw it, Xiao Nan did indeed have an influence on the Zai family. It was just a matter of whether Xiao Nan was willing to help her. Chu Chenexai was shameless enough to make such a proposition, but Xiao Nan was not. She could not possibly ask the Zai family to accept Chu Chenexai, who had cheated on their family. As for whether there was indeed gender equality in this matter, Xiao Nan knew that she would never do such a thing. Since she was unwilling to do it, Xiao Nan would never speak to Chu Chenexai about such a matter that would only make her feel uneasy and uncomfortable. Miss Chu, I thought that you would understand what I meant. Whether I was there or not, or whether I found Jia or not, I would never ask the Zai family for anything. The corners of Chu Chenxi's lips drooped down. Do you mean that you're not going to help me? She had already put down her pride and humbled herself before Xiao Nan, but Xiao Nan still refused to help her. That was too much. Chu Chenxi's expression changed immediately. And Xiao Nan lost her patience. Why should I help you? Miss Chu, you think too highly of yourself. We didn't even know each other before today. It's our first meeting and you're asking for such a big favor of me. Miss Chu, don't you think that you've crossed the line? It's nothing much. You just have to open your mouth. It's not that difficult. Chu Chenxi did not think that this would put Xiao Nan in the spot. How difficult could it be to just say something? How would Xiao Nan be embarrassed? Xiao Nan smirked. It seemed as though Chu Chenxi had had a much better life in reality as compared to in her dream. She seemed disconnected from the world. How could she think that asking such a huge favor of someone was no big deal at all? What could Xiao Nan do apart from laughing? Miss Chu, if this matter can be settled so easily, would you still need a caretaker to resolve it for you? I think you'd better find someone else. I can't help you. If Chu Chenxi insisted on saying such a thing, there was no point in Xiao Nan trying to reason it out with her since Chu Chenxi would always think that she was right. Chu Chenxi was so enraged that she was rendered speechless. If anyone could solve this matter, would she have humbled herself and put her dignity aside to ask a mere caretaker for help? Chu Chenxi's face darkened and her attitude became haughty. It was a complete transformation from her previous false kindness. She wrapped her arms around her chest and lifted up her chin. Perhaps, I was being too naive, thinking that there are many good people in this world. I'm clearer than you about the Zai family's status. It's true that it doesn't seem right for you to gain nothing from helping me apart from me addressing you as my sister. I think we all understand each other here. You can just spit it out. Tell me. What do you want before you are willing to help me? So, she was being so arrogant just because she had not offered any benefits? It was all right. She understood. There was nothing bad about clearing the air about this. Xiao Nan was at a loss for words. So, that was to say that Chu Chenxi had not even intended to give her anything in exchange for her help, apart from addressing her as her sister? Should she laugh at Chu Chenxi's pettiness or her foolishness? Since you're in the position to make such an offer, I believe that you're not short on people who can help you. I'm really sorry that I won't join on in this. Yes, once this succeeded, Chu Chenxi would once again become the chief's wife. With that status, there would be people throwing themselves at Chu Chenxi, who would be able to offer them countless benefits. Would the future chief's wife really need a mere caretaker's help? How ridiculous! Xiao Nan was prepared to return Chu Chenxi the things that she had brought. Miss Chu, it's not early anymore. I still have things to take care of, so I won't delay you any longer. Goodbye. With that, Xiao Nan shut the door. She did not even spare another look at the things that Chu Chenxi had placed at her door. Xiao Nan had actually shut the door in her face. The gall of her to do that. Chu Chenxi was infuriated. You're all looking down on me because I've divorced Zai Sheng, right? I'll never let you trample on me. You won't help me now? Fine. I'll keep all of you in mind and get my revenge once I get back together with Zai Sheng. She was so unpopular now that even a caretaker dared to slam the door in her face. Was it not just because she had gotten divorced from Zai Sheng? She would remarry Zai Sheng very soon. At that time, she would see how those people who looked down on her would react then. The more setbacks she encountered, the more Chu Chenxi reminisced about the times when she had still been married to Zai Sheng and the 3 years that she had been the Zai family's daughter-in-law. In those 3 years, everyone had treated her so respectfully. Not a single person had dared to disrespect her, much less slam a door in her face. Chapter 1926, Selling the House. If she had held back when she had been younger, she would have been the one throwing a tantrum at these people today. Her mom had chosen the best path for her, but she had not cherished it and had made a foolish mistake. Now, even a caretaker looked down on her. There would come a day when all these people who looked down on her would be afraid of her and have to bow down to her. Looking at the pile of items on the floor, Chu Chenexai thought that they were an eyesore. These things seemed to be reminding her of how even a caretaker looked down on her because she had left Zai Sheng. In the end, Chu Chenexai gave these things a good kick before picking them up and throwing them into the bin. Thankfully, these things had not cost her much anyway. She would rather throw them away than leave them at Chiao Nan's door and let Chiao Nan take advantage of her. From her footsteps, Chiao Nan could hear just how enraged and unjust Chu Chenexai felt. Chiao Nan was indifferent about the situation. She would be thankful as long as Chu Chenexai left and never came back because of this matter. But Chiao Nan's troubles did not lessen just because Chu Chenexai had left. Looking at the property deed on her table, Chiao Nan was troubled again. Chiao Nan knew how Chiao Dongliang was, and she knew even more clearly about Ding Jiyi's and Chu Chenexai's tempers. Chiao Nan had never thought of asking for ownership of that big apartment. In fact, she had never thought that she would have anything to do with the Chiao family's courtyard. She had expected everything to go to Chiao Zijin. She was not the only one who had thought that way. Even Ding Jiyi and Chiao Zijin thought so as well. Initially, when she had left with all her hard-earned money, Ding Jiyi and Chiao Zijin had hated her so much that they had gone on television to encourage the entire Pingcheng city to go against her. They could not wait to turn her into a street mouse who would get cursed at on the streets. If they knew that the property deed of the Chiao family's courtyard was in her hands and would even become hers, Ding Jiyi and Chiao Zijin would only kick an even greater fuss than before. Because of that, Chiao Nan did not sense Chiao Dongliang's fatherly love for her when she saw the property deed. All she felt was the fear and uneasiness due to the trouble that the property deed would bring. Chiao Nan was troubled over the property deed, but there was someone who was even more troubled than her. That was Chiao Dongliang. When he heard that Chiao Zijin had finally been willing to sell her big apartment to pay for her surgery, Chiao Dongliang's feelings had been mixed. He was clearer than Ding Jiyi that Chiao Zijin had made such a decision not because it would not be good for them to undergo a kidney donation at their age. When he had gone for his medical checkup earlier, the doctor had already advised him against a kidney donation if possible because of his age. It was still a question whether Chiao Zijin would be able to make a full recovery if she were to accept her parents' kidney. Even the doctor could not say for sure how donating a kidney might affect Chiao Dongliang or Ding Jiyi. Of course, that had not been the main point. The main point was that the doctor had told Chiao Dongliang something. "Hasn't your daughter asked me about all these? Why? Has she gotten so frightened that she hasn't told you about this? Of course, you can come and clarify any doubts you might have. I think that your family has to consider this carefully." Upon hearing the doctor's words, Chiao Dongliang's heart sank. Chiao Zijin had already understood from the doctor her chances of recovering if she were to accept her parents' kidney and how that would affect her life and health in the future. Chiao Dongliang knew his daughter well and did not think that Chiao Zijin had gone to understand all these out of concern for Ding Jiyi's or his own health if they were to undergo the surgery. What she was concerned about was her own health. While Chiao Zijin underwent her surgery, Chiao Dongliang and Ding Jiyi waited outside the operation theater. Chiao Dongliang's worries were completely different from Ding Jiyi's, and his feelings were much more complicated than Ding Jiyi's. "Old Chiao, do you think Zijin will be fine? They had spent so much money and had even sold the big apartment. This family would be finished if anything were to happen to Zijin. Didn't the doctor say that this surgery isn't very difficult as long as we can find a suitable kidney? We'll just have to see if Zijin's body will be able to accept this new kidney, or whether it'll reject it. Don't worry. Zijin will be fine." Chiao Dongliang comforted Ding Jiyi dryly. No matter how bad Chiao Zijin was, she was still his daughter. They had not cherished such a good daughter like Nan Nan and had instead chased her away. He and old Ding had to worry so much at this age because of their own actions. It was their own fault. Ding Jiyi was unsure of how long she had waited before the door of the operation theater finally opened. She felt as though her legs were numb, but she had no time to care about that. She hobbled forward and asked hurriedly, "Is my daughter fine? Was the surgery a success?" The doctor removed his mask and forced a smile out. "Don't worry. The surgery was a success. As for everything else, we'll just have to wait and see. Normally, there shouldn't be any problems." "Good. That's good. We didn't waste money." "It wasn't a waste. As long as my daughter's alive." Ding Jiyi was over the moon. They had not thrown 400,000 yuan away. Zijin would no longer be ill or be in pain. Thinking about how Qiao Zijin had lost a significant amount of weight because of her illness, Ding Jiyi thought only about how to nourish Qiao Zijin and what to prepare for her during her period of recovery. After every successful surgery, the patient's family would always have words of thanks for him. But it was the first time the doctor was hearing something about how she had not wasted her money. The doctor wiped away his sweat and did not hold it against Ding Jiyi. After leaving the nurses with a few instructions, the doctor returned to his office to rest. He had another surgery to conduct after Qiao Zijin's. After almost half a day, Qiao Zijin groggily woke up as the anesthesia wore off. But her mind was clear and she asked, "Mom, has my house been sold?" It had not been easy to get the money for her surgery, but selling the house was almost like cutting a piece of Zijin's body off. It felt even more painful than the wound from her surgery. Ding Jiyi laughed while caressing Qiao Zijin's face. "The property prices are going up every day. It won't be that easy to sell your house." Chapter 1927, What to do if there isn't money. How would there be news if we haven't put up the listing for more than a day? You just woke up after the surgery. Don't think about anything and just focus on getting your body well. Don't worry. If there's any news on the house, I won't make the decision for you. You can settle it yourself after you're well. Will that do?" Qiao Zijin heaved a sigh of relief when she heard Ding Jiyi's words. The house was hers, so only she could sell it. The money from selling the house was naturally hers, and she should be the one to have it all. Her mother placed a lot of importance on money. If the money entered her mother's pockets, she would probably not be able to get it back in the future. Qiao Nan was a good example. Qiao Zijin knew that everything Ding Jiyi had given her came from Qiao Nan's pockets. The problem was that Qiao Nan was gone now. Qiao Zijin was worried that without Qiao Nan, not only would Ding Jiyi not provide her with money but she would also focus her attention on her. Ding Jiyi would treat her in the future like how she had treated Qiao Nan in the past. The more worried she was, the more careful Qiao Zijin was with regard to money matters. After that, Qiao Zijin smiled. That was right as well. The house was valuable. Nobody had the ability to spend so much money on a house at once. Perhaps the matter wouldn't be completely settled yet even after she was discharged from the hospital and back home recuperating. What Qiao Zijin and Ding Jiyi didn't expect was that other people's houses didn't sell so quickly but their house did. Soon after the anesthetics on Qiao Zijin's body wore off, Ding Jiyi received a call on behalf of Qiao Zijin. "What? There's a buyer for the house." When she heard this answer, Ding Jiyi felt dizzy. There were so many rich people nowadays. They could buy a house worth 2 million yuan so easily. Why did she feel that it hadn't even been a few hours since her house was listed? Or was there a serious shortage of houses in Pingcheng now? "Sure, I'll let my daughter know about this. My daughter just finished her surgery today. She will contact you immediately once she can be discharged." After hanging up the call, Ding Jiyi told Qiao Zijin, "Zijin, someone's willing to buy our house. Did the doctor say when you can be discharged to settle the house?" That was 2 million yuan. She had never seen so much money in her life before. If she didn't remember it wrongly, the money she had gotten from Qiao Nan to pay for the house back then was approximately 600,000 to 700,000 yuan. This meant that the price of the house had tripled over the past few years. Oh God! Upon thinking about this figure, Ding Jiyi couldn't help but feel excited. It was 2 million yuan. Even selling all members of their family couldn't fetch such a price. Their family was going to have 2 million yuan soon. Didn't that mean that their family was going to be a millionaire? When Ding Jiyi thought of the higher value of the quad, she couldn't help but stand and jump on the spot to express her inner excitement. This was the first time she truly realized how valuable the two houses were. Thankfully, she was clever back then and got quite a bit of money from that wretched girl to buy those 2 houses. Otherwise, the money would have benefited that wretched girl for nothing. Qiao Zijin was similarly surprised. There's a buyer so soon. When she saw how excited Ding Jiyi was that her face was flushed red, Qiao Zijin hid her expression. Indeed, her worry was necessary. Once her mother heard that there was so much money, she became a different person. Based on this, she couldn't let her mother take care of this matter. She felt more at ease if she handled it herself. Mom, I've completed my surgery. There isn't any major problem. After 24 hours of observation, I can return home to recuperate if there aren't any issues. Mom, I would like to go home tomorrow. Living in the hospital was too expensive. Although the house could be sold for 2 million yuan, she had already spent 400,000 yuan on her surgery today. Upon thinking that she had already lost 1/5 of the 2 million yuan which she had not yet obtained, Qiao Zijin felt heartache. She missed the days when Qiao Nan was a human cash machine for them. In the past, as long as she wanted to spend money, her mother could obtain from Qiao Nan all the money she required. How was it like now, where she had to resort to selling her house to undergo a surgery that cost 400,000 yuan? She didn't understand it. How good was it to stay in her own home? No matter how fierce her mom was, she was still Qiao Nan's birth mother. Could it be that Qiao Nan's life outside was much better than at home? It must be because kinship wasn't as important as money in Qiao Nan's eyes. No wonder her mom always scolded Qiao Nan as a heartless person without any conscience. Sure. If you want to head home to recuperate, then go ahead. Don't worry. Mom will definitely try her best to nourish you well during this period of time. However, Ding Jiyi did have the intention to nourish Qiao Zijin well. However, Qiao Nan had already left for a few months and she had already spent most of the money at home. She didn't even have money to buy ingredients for the next few days. Ding Jiyi looked embarrassed. Zijin, you should know that I've already taken out all the money at home to treat your illness. I don't have any money to buy ingredients the day after tomorrow. What do you think we should do? What to do? Upon hearing these 3 words, Qiao Zijin nearly laughed out loud. Qiao Zijin found these words familiar. When Ding Jiyi asked Qiao Nan for money in the past, she always said that Qiao Nan was having good meals outside but the two of them didn't even have the money to drink porridge and eat salted pickles at home. She asked Qiao Nan if she had a conscience. Upon thinking of how Ding Jiyi gained weight over the years, only the honest Qiao Nan could deal with her nonsense of drinking porridge and eating salted pickles every day. Qiao Nan would give her mom the money she asked for. She wasn't Qiao Nan and wouldn't be as stupid as her. She had to lead a good life as well. She herself had a son as well. Qiao Zijin thought that Ding Jiyi was using the same way she dealt with Qiao Nan to deal with her now. Very quickly. Qiao Zijin couldn't smile. She had just finished the surgery today. She had to be kept under observation for 24 hours and couldn't eat anything too oily or delicious. However, Qiao Zijin felt like she was put in a difficult spot when her mother mentioned that she didn't have money to buy ingredients the day after tomorrow. It wasn't today or tomorrow. This made Qiao Zijin unable to refuse her. If she didn't give her mother money and she really cooked porridge and salted pickles for her the day after tomorrow, then she would be the only one suffering. In the past, when Ding Jiyi used this excuse to ask Qiao Nan for money, Qiao Zijin looked like she was watching a good show and would chip in from time to time to compliment Ding Jiyi's words to agitate Qiao Nan. Now that the roles were switched and she became the person in Qiao Nan's position, Qiao Zijin's expression became stiff. Chapter 1928, Distributing Money. In that case, give me your phone. I'll transfer 500 yuan to your card. That should last you for a period of time. Thankfully, she didn't have any cash on her. Otherwise, her mother would have definitely taken away all the cash on her when she was undergoing surgery. Thankfully, her mother wasn't good at paying with her phone as well. Otherwise, what should she do if her mother had been using her phone to transfer money to her account behind her back? The more Qiao Zijin thought about it, the more worried she became. She decided to study her phone. In the past, because of convenience, she didn't set up any phone lock settings and anyone could turn on her phone. No one knew her payment password, but her mother might, as she had used her birthday. Right. She should do a fingerprint lock so that it's more secure. Upon hearing the text message prompt from her phone, Ding Jiyi knew that Qiao Zijin had already transferred the 500 yuan to her. When she saw the 500 yuan, not only did Ding Jiyi not feel the joy from receiving money out of filial piety from her favorite daughter for the first time, but she felt disinterested instead. 500 yuan. 500 yuan. If she remembered correctly, that wretched girl only gave her a few hundred yuan at the beginning when she just came out of school and wasn't earning a lot. Later, that wretched girl's salary increased and she was doing part-time as a translator. The money she gave her increased month by month. When other children were still earning 1 or 2,000 yuan a month, that wretched girl was already giving her 10 or 20,000 yuan a month. If that wretched girl didn't give her so much money each month, she wouldn't have been able to afford the courtyard or big house. Ding Jiyi was already used to receiving a 5-figure amount from Qiao Nan for her living allowance. Qiao Zijin suddenly decreased this 5-figure amount to 500 yuan. Even if this money was given by her favorite daughter, Ding Jiyi still felt particularly troubled when she saw this small amount. It was rare for Ding Jiyi to speak sincerely. Actually, it's pretty good when that wretched girl was still at home. She made contributions to this family. At least, in terms of money, the amount that the three of them made wasn't even half of what that wretched girl could earn. When the wretched girl was still around, she didn't need to bother much about money. Now, Zijin only gave her 500 yuan. This amount could last her 10 days in normal times if she scrimped and saved. However, Zijin had just finished her surgery and needed more nutrition. It might not even last her 5 days, let alone 10 days or a week. Was she going to ask Zijin for money again 5 days later? There was no other choice. She wasn't working and old Qiao was already retired. His retirement salary wasn't high enough. She had to ask Zijin for money to spend on the items to nourish her body. If not for Qiao Zijin having just finished her surgery, Ding Jiyi wanted to discuss with her how much she was going to provide her as a monthly living allowance for the days to come. Otherwise, it was not only troublesome but also pointless to ask her for money once every few days or a few times a month. Qiao Zijin's worries were not completely unfounded. Although Ding Jiyi had provided the money for Qiao Zijin's initial hospital stay, the money taken out from Ding Jiyi's pockets were all obtained from Qiao Nan. Once Qiao Nan broke the habit of giving Ding Jiyi money, the money in her hands decreased day by day. In addition, Qiao Zijin was still hospitalized. Ding Jiyi had spent all the few tens of thousands yuan she had obtained, which were initially meant to provide her for her old age. When Qiao Nan was still around, Ding Jiyi never hesitated and just kept asking Qiao Nan for money to provide for Qiao Zijin. Although Qiao Nan was gone now, Qiao Zijin's and Ding Jiyi's lives were still continuing. Qiao Nan aside, Qiao Zijin was also her daughter. She had just sold a house for 2 million yuan. Ding Jiyi, who didn't have any money, would definitely have to ask Qiao Zijin for money. In Ding Jiyi's worldview, there was nothing wrong with this. In fact, it was correct. After confirming that Qiao Zijin had no issues with her surgery after 24 hours of observation, the doctor shared with Ding Jiyi and Qiao Dongliang about some conditions and allowed the Qiao family to handle the discharge procedures for Qiao Zijin. It was unknown why, but when the family left the hospital, they couldn't help but heave a huge sigh of relief. What the three of them didn't notice when they left was that there was a flashing camera behind their backs. The night Jiao Zijin was discharged from the hospital, Ping Cheng followed up with a piece of news. A month ago, they were still kicking up a fuss, saying that Jiao Zijin had no means to survive as Jiao Nan had taken away all of Jiao Zijin's life-saving money. However, this afternoon, before Jiao Nan returned, not only did Jiao Zijin not die, but she even had the money to accept the kidney transplant and was discharged from the hospital in good health. This proved that without Jiao Nan, Jiao Zijin still had some money in her pockets. Jiao Zijin was so angry when she saw the news that night that her wound started to hurt. After taking a few mouthfuls of the pigeon soup, she returned to her room and sulked. After divorcing Chen Jun, Jiao Zijin thought that she was still in her early 40s and hadn't lived half of her life yet. It was impossible for Chen Jun not to remarry. She didn't have to keep her chastity for Chen Jun after the divorce. She didn't even do so when she was married, let alone now that she had gotten a divorce. It was just that once this piece of news was broadcast, Jiao Zijin couldn't help but wonder if she could find a man in Ping Cheng who was willing to marry her. Upon seeing the content of the news, Jiao Zijin's and Ding Jiyi's faces turned dark. Ding Jiyi kept saying that this was fake news, but Jiao Zijin could see her sorry state from the news. Based on this piece of news, it was difficult for her to even make friends in the future, let alone find a man who was willing to marry her. Lying on the bed, Jiao Zijin felt so uncomfortable that she tossed and turned and couldn't go to sleep. The news made her upset. During the meal just now, her mother kept repeating that she had already spent more than 200 yuan out of the 500 yuan within a day, which made Jiao Zijin feel even more uncomfortable. There was only one motive for her mother to have mentioned money, and that was to get money from her. She said that it didn't matter what she and her father were eating, but she was still recuperating, so she didn't dare to buy only vegetables. It sounded nice, but in short, it was about money and asking for money. The 2 million yuan had not reached her hands yet, but she had already spent 400,000 yuan. Her mother was still asking for money every day. It was afraid that the remaining 1,600,000 yuan will be spent sooner or later as well. No, she had to think of a way. Moreover, once the house in her hands was sold, she would become homeless. In the past, she didn't fancy the courtyard and wanted to sell it for money. Now that the big house was sold, it was better not to sell the courtyard. Otherwise, she wouldn't have a place to stay in. There was a need to sell the house, but the courtyard had to belong to her. Right. Once the 1,600,000 yuan was in her hands, she would give her mother 10,000 yuan. Chapter 1929, Attitude. Afterward, she would even be able to talk to her mom about the courtyard. Since it would be hers eventually, what was the big deal in giving it to her now? One could only rest assured with a way to feed oneself. Now that she had come up with a solution to her problem, Jiao Zijin, who had been troubled all this while, could finally rest easy and shut her eyes to go to sleep. Jiao Zijin had not forgotten why she had wanted to be discharged. The property agent told her that someone was willing to purchase her house. Jiao Zijin thought that it was a little fast, but the other party had not forked out the money yet. Perhaps, they would decide not to go ahead with the purchase after viewing the house. Selling a house was a big deal, and there was no way it would be completed within 2 to 3 days. It was only after Jiao Zijin finished the transfer procedures, received a bank card with 1.6 million yuan in her hands, and walked out dizzily from the agency that she realized that a house worth 2 million could be sold so easily. Thinking about how Jiao Nan had been good at earning money and had spent only 600,000 on this house, and how she might not even have had the chance to have such a large amount of cash otherwise, Jiao Zijin felt a little sad. There was really no one who could compare to Jiao Nan in terms of being able to earn money in the Jiao family. Ever since she was in high school, Jiao Nan had been quite capable in terms of earning money. Zijin, has the 2 million yuan house really been sold? Have you gotten the money? Ding Jiyi was rather excited. Her family had never had so much money in their lives. Ding Jiyi felt that she would not even be able to fall asleep just thinking about the 1.6 million yuan. Zijin, you have to keep the money safely. Do you want me to keep it for you in case you lose it? Xiao Zijin quickly covered the bank card securely. There's no need for that, Mom. I'm all grown up. How can I possibly lose it? I can keep it well myself. What a joke. This was 1.6 million yuan. If this got into her mom's pockets, would she even be able to retrieve it in the future? At the thought of the courtyard, Xiao Zijin quickly changed her mind. Mom, the bank is right ahead. I'll bank this in. Wait outside for me. All right. Ding Jiyi agreed that she had to be careful with such a large amount of money on hand. What if someone got close to Zijin and robbed her? When Xiao Zijin was done, she returned home with Ding Jiyi. Upon returning home, Xiao Zijin realized that Xiao Dongliang was not home. It was just as well. She would not have to worry about her father overhearing her conversation about the courtyard. Mom, come to my room. What's wrong? Ding Jiyi wiped her hands dry. I'm washing the vegetables. If I don't do it now, your dad will definitely be unhappy if he doesn't have anything to eat when he comes back at noontime. She had already spent half of the 500 yuan that Zijin had given her a few days back. She would have to ask Zijin for more. She wondered how much Zijin would give her this time. If it was not enough, she would just have to ask for more. Xiao Zijin smiled and took something out of her bag and passed it to Ding Jiyi. Mom, look at this. This is for you. Take your time to spend it. The moment Ding Jiyi saw the envelope, she had a rough idea of what it was. With just a glance in her 20 years of experience taking money from Xiao Nan, Ding Jiyi asked directly, 10,000. It had always been much thicker every time that wretched girl handed hers over. Ding Jiyi was sick and never liked Xiao Nan making a transfer to her. It felt too virtual and it did not feel real at all. What if the money went missing during the transfer? Or what if Xiao Nan tried to shirk her responsibility? Besides, it was just a bunch of numbers. It could not compare to the feeling of thick, heavy cash. As such, Ding Jiyi requested Xiao Nan to hand her salary over in cold hard cash. She did not like transferring money and doing that sort of thing. Besides, mobile transfers had only been popularized in recent years. Since Xiao Zijin did not use it, Ding Jiyi did not either. Because of the 20 years of experience with Xiao Nan, Ding Jiyi could estimate the amount of money in the envelope the moment Xiao Zijin took it out. Hearing the lack of surprise in Ding Jiyi's voice, and even a little disappointment, Xiao Zijin was upset. She had never given her mom money, but her mom had always praised her for being a good daughter. Now that she was giving her mom 10,000 yuan, her mom was disappointed? No wonder her mother had never been happy no matter how much Xiao Nan gave her in the past. Is it too little? Xiao Zijin tried to suppress her anger. Ding Jiyi's expression changed. No, not really. I'm just not used to it. Whether it was 10,000 or 500, she had never gotten so little money from that wretched girl. Sigh. Having that wretched girl around had been pretty good. At least, that wretched girl had been much more easygoing about her money. The moment Ding Jiyi said that, Xiao Zijin lost the desire to continue the conversation. Mom, thanks for staying by my side and taking care of me after my surgery. I don't know how I would have made it through otherwise. Thank you so much, Mom. Xiao Zijin took a step forward and hugged Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi's heart softened and she patted Xiao Zijin on the shoulder. You're my only. You're the daughter I care most about. How could I not stay by your side? Nothing is more important than you being healthy and well. Don't worry, Zijin. Mom will never leave you alone. Even if everyone else leaves you, I'll never leave you. Since Zijin knew how good she was, she should know how to be filial to her now that she had 1.6 million yuan in her hands. Mom, where do you think Jiao Nan is now? At the mention of Jiao Nan, Ding Jiyi's expression soured. Why are you talking about that heartless wretched girl? I don't care about where she is. She can die for all I care. It'll be even better if she just dies outside and doesn't make trouble for us. She's already 40 and she's still unmarried. If I were her, I would be too embarrassed to be living in this world. She's a scum who abandoned her parents. Even if she goes to hell, she won't be forgiven. She'll suffer in hell. Thinking about how she and Qiao Dongliang had been taking care of Zijin's surgery without Jiao Nan's help, Ding Jiyi was enraged. If this happened to any other family, the younger generation would be the ones dealing with all these matters. Both she and old Qiao were already advanced in age and did not even dream of relying on their children. But when something like this happened, was it not expected that she should at least treat them as her parents? Chapter 1930, Owner of the Courtyard. Qiao Nan had taken all of the family's money, left her elder sister to die, and had abandoned her parents. She would wait and see what kind of retribution a heartless thing like Qiao Nan would receive in the future. Anyway, if Qiao Nan dared to return, she would never let Qiao Nan step into the Qiao family's house if she did not return 10 times of what she took away and kneel down to apologize for her mistake. If Qiao Nan dared to return, she would break Qiao Nan's leg. Then, she would see if Qiao Nan would still dare to run away in the future. Seeing how Ding Jiyi's anger toward Qiao Nan had not dissipated even though she had been dissatisfied with the amount of money Qiao Zijin had given, Qiao Zijin sighed in relief. This proved that she was still more important than Qiao Nan in her mom's heart. She was still her mom's favorite daughter. That was good. Mom, don't mind me for being straightforward. I'm only saying this because I feel sorry for you and Dad. It hasn't been easy on you raising me and Qiao Nan all these years. You've shed a lot of blood, sweat and tears. Dad even left the military because you guys had Qiao Nan. Qiao Nan's my sister and I care about her as well. If her departure hurt only me, I would never have said a thing. But her selfishness caused you and Dad to worry a lot, so I really can't hold this in anymore. Ding Jiyi looked at Qiao Zijin. What? Just say it. Do you have anything that you can't tell me? It seemed rather serious. Qiao Zijin said in the calmest tone possible, it's nothing much. You know that this courtyard is under Dad's name, right? Yes. Because it's under his name, if you and Dad are no longer here anymore, I'll have to split this house equally with Qiao Nan according to the law. She's filial to you, but she can't get along with me. I'm willing to give her the entire courtyard, let alone half. If not for Qiao Nan, this courtyard would have been someone else's. It's just that she's gone overboard this time. She should have been here to help out while I was ill. She made the two of you work so hard. I think that it's unfair that you'll have to give her half of your assets. I'm not saying this because of the money involved. Mom, I can promise you that I'll donate half of what this house is worth to the Red Cross if the courtyard becomes mine. I'll use the money to help the helpless who have a sense of righteousness and love. Qiao Zijin's words moved Ding Jiyi deeply and she sniffled. Mom has always known that you're the best child in the world. I don't even want to talk about that fool, Qiao Nan. She was so heartless toward your dad and me, and she even left you to die. What right does an ingrate like that have to inherit anything of our family? I would rather throw everything we have into the river than let her have anything. She wants the house? She can dream on. Holding her good daughter's hand, Ding Jiyi thought about it. But what do you mean by donating your money? Do you not have to live? It doesn't matter to your dad and me since we're already so old. But that won't do for you. You're still young. You should find someone to take care of you. It's better to have more money on hand just in case. This house has nothing to do with Qiao Nan. The house is your dad's and mine. It'll go to whomever we prefer. Qiao Nan won't have a say in this. Don't you dare donate your money. We're not rich. Keep everything for yourself. Besides, you've already sold your big apartment. You'll have to live in the courtyard in the future. Don't sell it. A family was only a family with a house. She knew how much the courtyard was worth, but the way she saw it, the courtyard was her home. It was not a temporary accommodation that they paid for. As such, Ding Ji had never equated the courtyard with that large sum of money. With her goal achieved, Xiao Zijin smiled. Don't worry, Mom. That was just a suggestion. I won't sell the house. I grew up here and it's full of memories of our family. I can't bear to leave this place or sell it. But Mom, can you really give me this house without leaving anything to Jiaonan? To put it bluntly, this was only her mom's idea. She was only listening to her mom's wishes. She had no intention of discriminating against Jiaonan. She would not be at fault if anything were to happen in the future. She was sisters with Jiaonan, after all. It doesn't matter what she thinks. She took away all of our family's money even while knowing that you needed it to save your life. I made my own calculations. She took with her almost 400,000 to 500,000 yuan. If she can't repay me 400,000 to 500,000 for her mistake, I'll never acknowledge her as my daughter. Is it that easy to steal from our family? Ding Ji spoke with viciousness in her voice. At the mention of money, Xiao Zijin could always hear Ding Ji's heart break. Xiao Zijin nodded in agreement. It was indeed a huge sum of money. If they had that 400,000 or 500,000 yuan, would she have needed to sell her house? It was all Jiaonan's fault. That big apartment had been sold for 2 million. If she wanted to purchase another house in the future, it would definitely have to be a bigger one than before. In that case, she would need at least 4 to 5 million yuan. If Jiaonan could fork out that sum of money to make up for her loss, she would consider acknowledging Jiaonan as her sister again. Mom, what you said doesn't count. I heard today that Jiaonan will still be able to inherit half of this house if you and Dad pass away. Xiao Zijin blinked forcefully. Damn! Her mother had almost caused her to forget the main topic. We can't just rely on what you say. They had not even had a witness here today. If they were to go to court in the future, the court would never admit this as evidence. In the end, Jiaonan would receive half of what was rightfully hers. So, what should we do? Ding Ji was stunned. Zijin, do you already have a plan? Ding Ji was no fool. Her elder daughter's conversation was mainly about the courtyard. She could feel that her elder daughter was already scheming something. Otherwise, there was no need for her to harp on this matter. Yes, she should not have to say it so explicitly. Why was her mother so foolish? She had already made herself so clear. Did she have to state it so explicitly? Since she did not want to hand the house over to Jiaonan, she could either hand it over to her now or get a lawyer to draft a will. But between the two solutions, Xiao Zijin very much preferred the former, which would directly make her the owner of the courtyard.